Do you think he'll be a future captain, Scarlett?
Here we go. That's right. We are back. It's Eat My Goal. It's Mike and Dan, and we are back for a little close season catch up. We've got new signings, we've got new kit, and we've got a new captain, and all these things we will talk about at some stage over the next 20 minutes or so. Just to get our view. If you're new to Eat My Goal, what we are is we are a Pompey podcast, Pompey FC podcast. We take a little bit of a light side. If you're looking for in-depth knowledge and tactical nous, this isn't the place for you, I'm afraid. If you just want a little bit of light-hearted chat and discussion, then get involved. You can get involved by emailing eatmygoal22@gmail.com. Like and subscribe us. Why not? So let's get straight into it, Dan. Yep. Straight off the bat, we've gone in there. 9 signings, business done, early doors.
Yay.
What do you think? What do you think of it so far?
Good, isn't it? It's good, isn't it?
There's a lot of positivity around, isn't there, I think?
Yeah.
People seem generally quite happy as things stand.
I think we said it, and it wasn't just our opinion, but we said that we'd need at least we needed a whole new first 11 or a whole new 10 or 11 players, didn't we?
Yeah, for sure.
To build a squad. And it was the fact that they went out and they got, 5 players, wasn't it, in the first couple of days?
It was non-stop, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was non-stop. And it was strange because the talk was initially that, we're going to do business early. And then suddenly it was like, we've got to be patient. And then suddenly, bosh. Yeah. There they were.
Never seen anything like it before. I mean, usually we're sort of left sort of hanging around waiting for a loan signing or something to come in. But they seemed like they really had a good plan, didn't they? And they stuck to it, and they knew they were going to get. And I mean, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but it seems like that people they went to get, they got.
Yeah, they seem quite happy with who they've got, don't they?
Yeah.
And most of the ones who are rumoured, because there's obviously a lot of rumours going around, we're going to get this player, we're going to get that player, but it seems like most of the ones that we've actually been rumoured with, we've got, which is good. Yeah. So we won't go through in depth on each of them, but we have signed. We'll mention them all. So we've got Terry Devlin, Anthony Scully, Kusini Yengi. I know I'd have an issue if that is first name. Christian Sadie, Connor Shocknessy, apparently is how it's pronounced. Shock.
Oh, really?
Apparently. Okay. I'd say Shaughnessy personally, but Ben Stevenson, Jack Sparks, Will Norris, and Gavin White. So out of those, which do you know? Which ones excite you? Which have you never heard of?
Right. Well, I could tell you that I've never heard of most of them. And I think strangely enough, I was having a look just a minute ago to see which one I'm most excited by. And I think the one that I most like the look of is Terry Devlin, even though he's only 19.
Okay. And he looks about 12, doesn't he? He looks about 11 or 12.
He just looks like he's got that sort of attitude where he'd come in and he'd be really popular with the fans. One of those sort of players that would give everything. Whether he'll get many games or not, I don't know, because being that he is 19, he is a central midfielder. Yeah. And we do have Pack and Morel and Lowry in there. So whether he'll get a lot of game time, I don't know. But he was the one that I was most excited about. But then
also good to have somebody called Terry as well, isn't it? Bearing in mind we're no longer in the 70s and 80s. Proper football name. Yeah.
So he'll go. I don't know. I just think if he plays, then I don't know. I just got a feeling that he's going to be very popular. I just imagine he's a sort of player that will go in.
100%. He'll be 100% every game. Okay.
But then there was Yengi as well, which when you see the sort of highlight, I know when they show the highlights of these players, they are literally the highlights. You see goals, and but he looked quite good. I tried not to read too many comments on most of them, because then you get opposition fans, and they were saying about Yengi, he's not great and all this, he's not a very good player, etc., etc. But I'm sure we would say that about some of our ex-players.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I've only just noticed is that the ages are 19 to 29 out of all those players. So I think that's another positive.
And 29 is your goalkeeper, with the exception, everyone else is kind of 27 or below, isn't it? And what I quite like is, sorry, just on the subject of Yengi seems a bit of a character as well, and he's a bit of a TikToker. But they have said he's a bit of a rough diamond who they feel they can mould and coach into being a better player. So he's got a lot of good raw attributes, which sounds good.
Yes, on that, just I'd say the only thing that worries me about that is I hope it's not another Dane Scarlett situation.
Yeah, well, maybe. I think Scarlett's a different kettle of fish, though, isn't he? Scarlett has been, I nearly said groomed, but probably the wrong word, by Spurs to be like the Harry Kane successor, and obviously very, very young. But yeah.
Do you think he'll be a future captain, Scarlett?
Don't know. He'll be indestructible, though, won't he?
Yeah.
For sure. I think I'm most excited about Gavin White. He seems to come with quite a reputation, doesn't he? He's played a lot of championship football, played a lot of international football, which is decent.
3 goals in 20 international.
Yeah, and scored after 35 seconds on his debut internationally as well, which ultimately, look at David Nugent, it means nothing, doesn't it? But and also, again, seems like a bit of a character. Have you seen his arrest for masturbating in public?
Yeah. That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Let's
down Albert Road.
Outside Peggy Sue's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On his way to scandals. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But yes, most of it's difficult, isn't it? Because you've got a lot of new players, a lot of people saying, they look decent. I think it's difficult to tell until they play in front of Fratton Park. I think we've signed a lot of good players in the past who, once they've got Fratton Park, is different. And I know there's a lot of kind of teams that say, we get bigger crowds than you do at Fratton Park. But I think it's quite the atmosphere at Fratton Park is quite. It's expectant, isn't it? We're an ambitious side. It's not that long since we were in the Premier League. A lot of people will still remember that. We'll remember the great players from that era, and it is expectant. And I think it's we've seen players come in who we've had high hopes for, and actually they've not succeeded because we had they've almost frozen. I think in front of what is passionate. I think is the best way to describe it. Isn't it? Passionate crowd. So it'd be interesting to see. I think like you, I think Devlin is one of those players who could do that because he seems quite feisty. But also like you, I think he'll be slowly brought into the side rather than drop straight in.
I think so. Yeah.
I
didn't realise he was only 19 until I read it up.
Apparently he did very well in the League of Ireland, didn't he? I think he got player of the season there. So you never know. You never know. I think there's mixed reviews on the goalkeeper, but then there's mixed reviews on Matt Macey, and I thought Macey was quality.
There's going to be,
for us.
there's going to be, isn't there? You're going to have mixed reviews. I mean, we've had mixed reviews from our own fans on these signings, people that are expecting us to sign bigger and better names. But I don't know. I'm just really pleased that they seem to have a plan behind the scenes, and they've gone out and they've got these players. They haven't just faffed around and got a couple of players and then the loan signings. They've gone out and got players that are all signed on. So if they're poo, then it's another season down the drain, isn't it? But at least it's a different. At least it's a whole new. It's a whole new batch of players, which I think is exactly what they need.
Another good thing I think is that most players are on. Well, a lot of them are on 3-year contracts or 2 with an option for 3, which again goes down their route of wanting to bring in young players that have a high resale value, which I think is part of that as well, isn't it? So I think exciting times. It is exciting times, and as Hughes has said, Richard Hughes has said, still room for 4 more. Apparently, they're still working quite a lot on 4 more: goalkeeper, centre back, wide player, and then an 8/10.
And
the fact they're bringing in.
Oh, sorry.
No, well, the only idea really is obviously Bernard for centre back.
I'm surprised that hasn't. I know he's been away with Jamaica, hasn't he? But I would have thought that would have been one of the earliest ones to have been done. But again,
I think he'll have options though, won't he? I think he'll have quite a few options. I don't think that's a simple one really. I think he'll have options either higher in the championship. In the championship or with other kind of leading clubs in League One. So. We'll see. But other than that, no rumours. I know there's loads of names, isn't there, that have been
Tommy Lee.
around. Tommy Lee, what,
Tommy Lee,
the drummer,
he's mummy, isn't he?
Molly Crew.
Yeah.
It's the same one, is it?
I can honestly say that I don't know. I mean, I'm probably showing myself up to be a terrible Pompey fan, but I don't know Tommy Lee. I don't know what he's done. I don't know what the fascination is with this.
I think because he came from Portsmouth, went to Bognor, went to Accrington, was it? I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Did okay in a struggling side. He got quite a high rate of goals and assists in a struggling side. So, and apparently he's quite a forward-thinking player. Likes to go forward. He's like a 10 sort of player, isn't he? Number 10.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he, I think that's pretty much a dead deal, though, isn't it? I don't think that's happening. I think they want too much money.
Yeah, I think that's gone. Yeah, Jamal Lowe, we're getting him.
Yeah, almost definitely, definitely. He's posting regularly, isn't he? No, that's 100% not. But I was speaking to my son yesterday about this, and I think if we do go up this season, I don't think it's beyond the reality that he could be back with us in the Championship.
Yeah,
clearly loves the club, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So interesting times. I think interesting times. Let's move on, shall we? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say, what about the departures?
Yeah, are we upset about any of those?
Anything to say? So you've got what? Tunnicliffe, Robertson.
Nah.
Robertson?
I don't think.
Louis Thompson. Rico Hackett. No, not sad to see him go. I thought he did all right.
I thought he did all right. He was never going to be he wasn't a regular starter in a struggling side, was he? So he's one of those who had very few good moments. I think Jacobs again. Jacobs could have been really good for us, couldn't he? But
I think he could have been.
I think he just lacked that bit of pace and just had too many injuries, and that kind of blighted his Pompey career. But not really sad. We'll come back and we'll talk about Ronan in a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we'll talk about him in a little bit. Okay, so I'm not sad. Not really good about any of them, especially the lone players. They could jog right on.
Yeah, I think players like I think Tunnicliffe could do well. So
he might do.
Well somewhere. Shame that they're sort of without a club at the minute, but I know they might have their fingers in many pies.
Yeah,
irons in fires.
I've just noticed you look a little bit Statue of Liberty-esque with your star.
With what?
With your star.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
It is.
Or the bull.
Okay, new kit launch. Now, this is the thing, isn't it? People are loving it. What's your thoughts?
The new kit?
The new kit. Do you like it?
Are they?
Yeah, generally, aren't they?
Well, I think on the majority, I haven't seen many people whinging about it, which I suppose is the definition of loving it these days on social media. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of positivity around the new kit. I personally think it's the best kit we've had probably since the Canterbury days.
Yeah, and I can tell you that the third kit, the 125-year kit, was seen by somebody I know last week. Okay, and it is going to be. Am I allowed to reveal on this?
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. Is this an exclusive? Go on.
And it is going to be salmon pink.
Oh, nice. Okay, I suspected it might be, obviously, with the.
He did tell me about the away kit or the second kit. I can't remember what colour he said it was.
Okay.
Yeah, but salmon pink, the 125-year one is going to be.
Is that going to be a third kit, or is that going to be just a celebratory kit? Is it kind of an extra money spinner for the club, or as in are we going to have four? Are you allowed to have four kits?
I don't know.
Okay,
I think
you heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first.
There you
Salmon
go.
pink, but we don't know if it will be just the third. I suspect it will be, won't it? You got four kits.
Do you like the new home kit?
I do like it. To the point. I've never bought a Pompey kit. I've bought training shirts, and I've bought kind of like rugby style kits many a time. And my son recently bought. I bought many a kit for him, but I've never bought one myself. I'm not a big fan of football kits in general. If I'm honest with you, I'm not just overpriced. But I was tempted with the new one. I was tempted.
Oh, right. So you didn't buy it. You just
didn't buy it. Yeah, I looked on. Then I thought £55. So.
well, being that I'm now a season ticket holder.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Because, and I'll tell you why I'm a season ticket holder, and I'll tell you why I got one the first day they went on sale was because I enjoyed last season so much and the football we played. And I just thought, well, I have to get a season ticket. I have to be in the front row seeing this.
You have to see it for yourself every week.
See it for myself.
And spend 420 quid for the pleasure.
I got a season ticket in the place where everyone wants to be.
Go on.
North Terrace, near the front. North Terrace, few rows from the back.
Is it near where we used to be?
Back in, yeah, it's pretty much the same place where we were back in 2003.
Oh, I wonder if that little kid's still there, but he'd probably be about 25 now, isn't he?
Yeah, or the cancer
little kid was dead. Or the cancer twins, I reckon they're dead.
I wouldn't have thought they're there.
No, they got to be gone, haven't they?
Yeah.
They were pretty much close to being gone in 2003.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know, maybe I think it would be a good year for me to get a kit, because then at least I can wear it every
year. You have a retro one.
Yeah.
Then you can wear it. Then you'd have to update every year. But get your.
They've all gone now, haven't they? All the retro ones. And they have,
I think they've still got a couple. My son bought a retro with the same as the one that's the Sadie reveal was Christian Sadie revealed the Admiral. I very much like it. It's a good kit. It's a good kit. I think it's from late 70s, isn't it? 78, 79, something like that. So I just think it is a nice kit. I still think football kits are overpriced. You know, if you're not so much for adults can ultimately they got the choice whether they want to buy it or not. But the thing is with kids, isn't it? Kids want a kit, and most kids want the full kit as well, don't they? If they're young, if they're that sort of age, 10 and below. And for the cheapest price you'll get a full kit for a kid for is 68 quid.
Yes, it's
£39 top, 20 something for shorts, £11 for socks. Come on, what are you talking about? A pair of socks.
It's beautiful.
And so that, but you know, if you've got 3 kids, all of whom are under 10, 11, want the full kit, then you're talking just over 200 quid.
Yeah.
Redonkulous, isn't it? Redonkulous.
It is.
Anyway, you talk about season tickets. 14,000 season tickets have been sold. You are one of those 14,000, or 2, I imagine. Because I imagine your son's got one as well, is he?
Yep.
Yeah. So you are 2 of the 14,000. I think they've surpassed last year's by around about 1,500 or so at this stage, haven't they?
I think it does say a lot for our fans, doesn't it? In that, I would say last season was one of the worst seasons in recent history for, I don't know, maybe for starting off so well and then pretty much the last 30 or so games being pretty dross.
Even if you think back to those early games, when we were on a bit of a streak, when we were undefeated for the first 11 games, was it? I think.
Yeah.
Even some of those were pretty dull, weren't they? We scraped wins or scraped draws, and
so maybe we had rose-tinted spectacles on when we were talking about the early part of the season, but
but it turned, didn't it? It turned for the worse. I think you're right. And I saw a lot of comments at the end of last season saying that's it. You know, I'm not renewing. Blah blah blah. I'd say probably in the tens of those. And I know it's Twitter, and you can't really take too much into that. But the fact that we have sold 14,000. is incredible, I think. Versus das.
That is my son coming in with his bike.
Very good, very good. You look forward to whereabouts are you? Kind of near, because we were almost bang on the halfway line before, weren't we?
Well, North Terrace, the same. I think it's the same section. So where the halfway line is, if you're looking at it, it's not all right. So if you're looking at the pitch, and the halfway line was just to our left, wasn't it? So I think we were just to the right hand side of the halfway line.
Okay.
So that's the section we're in. That section there, and we're row F or something. So it's about however many 6 rows back. Yeah.
So if you're in North Lower, row F, around that sort of area, keep an eye out for Dan.
Say hi.
Say hi. Hi to Dan. So, do you know what else I thought was quite good?
Yep, sorry, just shut that door.
Was the on the subject 14,000 season ticket holders, the amount of people who travelled to Spain for that?
I know.
Bit of a non-event friendly, almost like a training game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But fair play again. Fair play.
It took 3 or 4 swipes on Instagram to see all the fans. So that was a good couple of hundred, wasn't it?
About 500, I think.
Oh, was it? Blimey.
I believe about 500. Yeah, fair play. And it's you can't really read too much into pre-season friendlies, can you? Obviously, we've got the South Coast tour coming up with Bognor, Gosport having a Waterlooville this week.
Bognor
means nothing, doesn't it? Yeah, Bognor Tuesday.
So what? So sorry, the one in Spain was that was against a Gibraltar team, wasn't it? So
yes.
What was that? That was about 5 or 6-0 to us, was it?
You think, couldn't you? Yeah, you think one.
Don't tell me that we relied on a Bishop penalty.
A Bishop penalty, yeah.
I'm joking.
It is what it is. It is what it is, isn't it? It's a pre-season friendly. So moving on to, I think this was inevitable, but obviously it's been recently announced. Marlon Pack will be our captain going into next year. Clark Robinson, having left, gone to Israel or something. Clark Robinson, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's gone to FC Ashdod.
Oh yeah. Whenever I think of Israeli clubs, I think of Ashdod.
Yeah, you remember FC Ashdod, didn't you?
Big move for him, I think.
Yeah.
Didn't they used to play in the Pompey Sunday? Div 5.
Div 4.
Div 4. Okay. Yeah, they're always tough. Tricky wingers. Yeah, good move for him, I guess. I don't know nothing about it. Strange one, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, Marlon Pack, captain.
Yeah, good.
Happy with it? In different form last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, I would say, Pack, first half of last season, definitely was captain material. I think they certainly looked up to him. But then I think, second half of the season, not so much. Yeah. A couple of silly red cards, so hopefully he can sort that out. There was 2, wasn't it? 2 red cards.
Yeah. But my thinking is that hopefully this will help him curtail that side. Nothing wrong with a bit of passion, but I think, like you say, it wasn't even down to passion, was it? It was just down to frustration more than anything. His red cards, weren't they? Certainly the one against, in fact, both that I'm thinking of, the Charlton one, and who was the other one? Was it? It was
home, wasn't it? It was 2.
Was it Fleetwood? Can't remember now. I can't remember. But it's when we gave the ball away. He'd already been booked, and then he just clumsily challenged someone, didn't he?
Yeah. I don't think he particularly played well in the second half of the season either. No, I think he did first half.
First half, he was almost like a quarterback in some respects, wasn't he? Spreading the ball around nicely, but then lost that second half. But I think making him captain. He's obviously from the academy or from Pompey of old. Claims to be a Pompey fan, so that's good. And I do think, have you seen any of his comments since being named captain?
I saw a video earlier on, just before I came on with him.
Okay.
Go on. What were you going to say about it?
No. Well, I liked the bit where he said about we although we're League One, we should should act like we're in the Championship, and and have the environment of a Championship club, which I liked. Yeah. I think that's good, and I think that's good from a fan's point of view. That's what we want to hear from the club captain. What I wasn't so sure about is I care too much. Yeah, I care too much. It's a little bit. David Brent / Michael Scott, for sure. Yeah. Oh, what's your weaknesses, Marlon? Well, the only weakness I've got is I care too much. Yeah. Yeah. I imagine that's pretty much how the interviewer reacted during the thing. But he had, I don't know if you saw on, I can't remember where it was, whether it was on social media, but had a lot of response from the likes of Tammy Abraham wishing him luck, and Luke Ayling, obviously Mason Mount, which I thought was quite good. Obviously, it links to kind of Bristol City and things back there, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be good. I think it'd be good for him. I think it'd be good for the team as well, personally. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, who else could you see in that squad? Raggett, but then that might suggest that Raggett's not the. Are you going to say as captain? Sorry, I kind of interrupted you there. Yeah, as captain. So Towler, Raggett. I think Towler's probably too young. He's just very popular, but Morel is another one. Too hot-headed though, isn't he? Morel? But too hot-headed. There's one thing getting sent off through the frustration, but he would get booked and sent off for just losing his head, wouldn't he? Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't make Pack captain last season anyway, because he seemed to be the one when they had the little huddle at the beginning of the games. He was one that was always doing all the talking. Yeah, and
getting the players in, and he was the one that seemed to be giving out all the advice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's probably a logical choice, isn't it?
I think so. And that moves us on to Ronan Curtis. Did you see his 4-page letter to the fans?
I saw snippets, yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? What are your general gist?
I thought it was all right. It seemed quite genuine. Seemed quite.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, he was offered a quarter of his wage for a year, I think it was. I know a lot of people would say, yeah, but if I'm offered $1,000 a week, I'll take that to play football. It's like, yeah, but if you're used to getting $4,000 or $5,000 a week, it's a little bit different, isn't it? Because you adjust your lifestyle to $4,000 or $5,000 a week.
Exactly, and he's got a family, hasn't he? So
yeah, got young'uns. Do you think that's the last we've seen of him? Bearing in mind that White's been given the number 11 shirt.
Yeah, I think
agree.
so. Yeah, I think so. I don't know when he's back, fitness wise.
Well, he thinks he'll be fit, but not fit to play, but fit to train properly again in September, which would probably suggest at earliest late October that he'll be match fit. I think earliest.
Yeah.
I
think it's a shame, but I suppose it's all part of the out with the old, in with the new, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. I agree.
And I don't know whether he could have still done a job. I think he did well when he came back from injury last season, and he looked fired up. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably the right decision, the right time.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be difficult for him to come back on there, and I think he obviously he had been angling for a move over the last couple of transfer windows, hasn't he? So move on, onwards and upwards, I say. But yeah, I kind of liked his little message. I thought it was quite well written, and it kind of made sense, didn't it? It made sense that he didn't have to address anyone's. Didn't have to put anything out there, did he? So fair play, Ronan. I think he's been a good servant. Obviously, he's our top scorer in this century. Yeah. But wish him well, whatever happens. Okay, finally, this is the final thing for this week, Dan. I think the PFC socials have kind of upped their games this year as well, haven't they? So far, I think there just seems to be an all-round positive feeling, and there seem to be videos coming out quite regularly from Spain, like the trips to Spain, stuff like that.
Other than the friendly, we're not playing games yet, are we? So people aren't pissed off yet. Wait till the season.
No. I don't mean people reacting to socials. I mean the actual socials going out.
No, you're right. Yeah, there does seem to be. Yeah,
there seems to be a lot more content, particularly video content, and a lot of training content going on. Which I think
all the signings were good. All the signings. I liked all that.
Yeah, it was good. And particularly. What was the one that I particularly liked? I can't remember now. There was one that I particularly liked. I thought that was good. Can't think what it was.
Yeah.
But that's they. I don't know if they've got in new marketing people who are pretty good on the imagery and stuff like that. But yeah, very good. I like it. Keep it up, Portsmouth FC, and keep that content coming out. I think it also gives you that engagement, doesn't it, with the team? A lot of talk has been said about certain Premier League sides being disengaged with fans and things, walking straight past fans, not selling shirts and what have you. And I think particularly of a club of this level it's clearly a community club, and I think we need that connection with the community, don't we?
Yeah.
And I think that's very good, and that helps that quite a lot.
Yeah, I think they've done very well. Like we say, after such a poor season, I think they've done really well to sort of get the morale back up, get everyone excited for the new season, get 14,000 season tickets sold. Because people, you saw yourself at the end of last season, people on Twitter, on Instagram, etc., saying, "I'm not getting a season ticket next season. I've had enough. This is awful. Worst football I've seen in years," etc., etc.
Eisner's out.
Eisner's out. Yeah. So yeah, I think that all contributes to it. All the social media stuff. I think they've done well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do feel there's a different feel, isn't it? Even in the space of just a couple of months or even a few weeks, is the different feel. And you generally get that early season buzz, don't you? You always have that kind of new excitement, and you think, yeah, this is the year. Maybe it is. Maybe this is the year, Dan. Maybe this is the year we go back to the Championship.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's just. I'm just hoping for some good performances because we didn't even have that, did we, last season? So just some good.
Just droll, wasn't it? Drolly, droll. No, it looks good. It looks good so far from what I've seen. So this is Eat My Goal. If you like our content, do follow us. We will be back in August, probably maybe late July, but back in August. We'll be under a new name as well. I can't tell you what that is as yet, but we'll release that on socials, and we'll tell you all about that. It'll be more a Pompey related name. Daniel?
No, I was just sticking my pen up in the air, that's all.
Oh, I see. I thought you were kind of like
no.
Need to have a point here. So we'll be back late July, early August, ready for the new season, which starts on the 6th of August. But positive signs so far. If you want to follow us, subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, then press the old button to make sure you get all the latest episodes when we release them. Or if you want to kind of talk to us about anything at all, then please get in contact. eatmygoal22@gmail.com. One of the things we will talk about, by the way, I'd like to talk about in the next episode, and if you want to contribute towards this, is game day rituals. What do you do pre-match? Because some people have little superstitions and things like that, don't they? Some people just have the same old thing, go to the Shepherd's Crook or whatever before a match, meet their mates, whatever it may well be. So if you've got a particular game day ritual you want to share with us, we'll share our game day rituals. Won't take very long, will it? And then share those with us. It's all about getting again, a little bit like the community thing, getting a feel for what people who go to watch games do on match days. But that is all from us for tonight. Enjoy the close season. Enjoy the Ashes or Wimbledon or whatever else you're watching at the moment. And bye.
Oh, can I just...